Okay. Hello. 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 Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. We're back with more Phoenix Wright. Sorry about the silence. We're probably gonna be hopefully not for like more than 30 seconds or so. But anyway, but yes, as the title suggests, I expect this to be the end of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We're rounding up. This is the last day of investigation, and all that's left is trial, and we already got a head start yesterday, so it shouldn't be too long. If everything goes according to plan, that is. Well, let me not talk to the side of it. Like, I also have the pre-stream freezy, so forgive me. But yeah, let's get started. We had just finished talking to Marshall, so now we're going to. Where do we? We're trying to get to Damon Gant's office. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. The chief of detectives, with the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media than tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is usually, yeah. Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hall with the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? No. I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gunster gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. Yeah, okay, dude. You said we could, so we're gonna go. All right, hold on. Wait. Let me. Wait, audio has to go bye-bye for a sec. I'm gonna open a stream, but I don't want you to hear it. Oh. Horse girl, what the hell? Okay, hold on. Okay, let's go to the chief's office. Oh, holy, what? Why is there an organ? Yeah, by the way, only the nicest people you ever have a organ in their office. Definitely, totally. Never has there ever been a villain that has an organ in their office. Speaking of organ. And honestly, that organ probably costs more than Detective Gumshoe's entire yearly salary. Or I guess there's no reason to say yearly. It's just salary. That is what salary it means. Well, where am I? In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it's done on the door. Why is it? Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons at kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Bach. How funny. So I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. I never could remember where C was. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. So, Righto, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. Hello, not villain. More freezy. I can appreciate that. I've had my hand full too. The Richard Marshall's misconduct. A lot of provocative statements. Yeah. Provocative. Yeah. Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. You got a picture on the wall over there? I have to picture of Lana, Neil, and me. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother. I should get Neil Marshall. We took it together. Took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. I can't quite. Oh, it's the trophy. The trophy's off. Look, where's the little sword thingy? The trophy looks different from 2 years ago. So, anyway, I like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together. Oh, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has long been over. Long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. All the same, we still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Ooh, now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Oof. Looks like we aren't welcome. It seems that case isn't over yet wasn't over with yet after all. What do you mean? Chief can't deny that request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around there. You mean like a clue? There's gotta be a way we can get inside the chief's office. Hey, hey pal. Detective Gumshoe. Aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm just taking a breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long? Actually, I'm serving everyone coffee. Uh-oh. He's an errand boy. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. Double like the battle between you two and Core. That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said? Yeah, basically. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edwards had the whole world after his blood. Yikes. Why would Edwards be blamed? It sounds like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Sky is the guilty party here, isn't he? Sorry. Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. So even if his boss was feeding him, giving him rotten evidence, it's still his responsibility. Not only that, as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around. His amazing talent as a prosecutors kept him safe for those who don't like him. But now with this, are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Edward not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know for making enemies. Hey, Dick, keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat. Yes, sir. You got to be back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir. It seems you don't have any problem with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edge just might crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing. He seemed genuinely concerned for everyone's death. Well, did you find anything? Did you find out anything? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl? Me. I think Detective Gunn would never realize how it was a girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see. I think it has something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here. All right, okay. His power of recollections never fails to impress. Joe Doc was 42 at the crime. He was just a run-of-the-mill businessman. Yeah. Office worker, a businessman. What made him take the serial killing? One day he's on his way home from work. He hit someone with his car. So it was an accident. An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal. Yeah, he got a taste for blood, it seems. An animal. He killed a man that witnessed the accident, and then he killed a lady who saw the second crime. Kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. The driver came up to the scene and found him killed as well. Well, finally, he turned himself in. Seems he was pretty careless. He was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence, so he turned himself in. Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. So they say serial killing, but it was more like a mass murder event. He just killed a bunch of people at once. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness, aka Emma. About this. Hey, is that has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in the locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it. Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what was it, Detective? This knife. It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at, plus it had his fingerprints on it too. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? Obviously, Mr. Marshall. And the victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Joe Dark's knife? You bet. Down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Well, there you have it. And there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. Oh, damn it. I missed it. I tried to get it on the stream playback. No, I missed it. It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. Chief's out now, and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look at around if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. What? Really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust. Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh, sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's. That won't work either. That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would change his mind. Do we have something that could change his mind? Chris? I've been studying up on those files. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth. Presentation. The thing people are accusing him of injustice. I, for one, ain't buying it, pal. They're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, it was a pretty big deal while it was going on, you know. After all, the serial killer was on the loose. Milana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Joe Dart guilty. Yeah. Okay, well, my guess is since he's doing this for Edgeworth, we need to get something from Edgeworth. Anyone here? No one's here today, not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. But we proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case. But instead, it looks like we had just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is. It looks like he's writing something. What are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper to the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another alleged allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Come on, Mr. Wright, let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Hey, Edgeworth. Is that the Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing, crawling around at my feet. You didn't even look. What? Letter of... If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says, letter of resignation. What? Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, right? I feel as if something inside me has died. But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. Oh! Get my hand off the freaking... I can't forgive myself what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh. I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. Yeah, we can... There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used falsified evidence to attain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I can do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, the evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep up this kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial, and now this one. He sees all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's why there's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back or haunt me like this. What do you mean? The list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Hey, we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture, something seems strange about it. Let's continue that conversation. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall, he had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding. It's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. Ah, I remember now. Remember what? That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design. The story. Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard the story? Me? Oh, sure, everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it though, for Emma's sake? Very well. Unstoppable force meets an immovable object, basically. The long or short of it. Long ago in the Kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor, and the second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive, but then again, you've heard of this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very description of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. An ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow. Thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given the shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant. Can you tell us again about what happened that day? The day that Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in the ceremony over at the station, right? I never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this. Those receiving the awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning and then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends, the clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold onto that, didn't he? Yes, it was a piece of evidence in the case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. But something's... Yeah, that seems weird. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to? That's right. Hold on. Yeah, it's... Something about it is odd. Did he ever tell you why he... Come down, right? You can use these efforts. You can't seriously expect you to sit down and chat with you about the case over a cup of tea. But this isn't related to the case, remember? You said so yourself. So I did. Chief gave this to you that day, didn't he? He asked you to bring it here from the police department. The chief is a very competent man, but sometimes he does things that don't make any sense. At least it's better than being incompetent and doing things that don't make sense. A certain detective comes to mind. Mr. Wright, Mr. Oh, they talk about the knife. No. Hey, don't look at me. Yes, I went into the evidence room only on the day of the crime. He can't ask me to do something. Take evidence from a case solved 6 months ago back to the prosecutor's office. I have a locker in there as well. Did you notice anything amiss when you were in the evidence room? The room's always dark, and I was in a hurry. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. Back to AI 16. What's that got to do with anything? Nothing, apparently. At least that's what Edward said. That makes it seem all the more suspicious. Who knows? This might turn out to be the clue that breaks the case. Haha, who would have guessed? Wouldn't that be nice? Okay. Well, I guess this would present the letter. That's the only thing we haven't done. They say where there's smoke, there's fire. Apparently, I was so caught up in the smoke, I lost sight of the truth. Edgeworth. The others are right. I have no right to serve as a prosecutor. But Mr. Edgeworth, you were only doing your job. I've always made my own decisions about what I can and cannot do. That hasn't changed. Forgiving myself is something I cannot do. Uh oh, I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. Okay. You know, it would have hurt if you put this up on a shelf, up somewhere, like on a shelf. That has no meaning for me anymore. What do you mean anymore? That's who I was last year. What good is it to dwell in the past? He's asking me. Alright, why can't he just accept it graciously? Actually, something's been troubling me about the shield. Look, you notice anything different? Different? Oh, isn't the shield the wrong way too in the picture? No, it's not, no. Yeah, don't you remember the other shield? Yeah, we did. Okay, so let's... Okay, we're done here, I guess. Or we have... Oh, there's someone else here. Excuse me. Oh, Miss Star. Would either of you care for a quarter-pound of roast beef? Ah, Miss Star, I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked up. I'm not reading that. I ain't reading that. I mean, to be fair, that guy must have been a freak. To be honest. So, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day of the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to a mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that little scene I happened to witness. The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much of that past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. The star's hatred toward Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trained him for half a year. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. As Emil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her, not a Sky. My sister? The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo, Lana and Chief Gant. That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. Like you don't have proof anything illegal was done, and proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties, most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Sky transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Sky was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used? Damon Gant and Lana Sky. Gant led the investigation with Lana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism. By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence, huh? You don't mean... Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him though. I take it she's talking about forgeries. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. This star. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief? That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred? If he can control the chief prosecutor, he can control the prosecutor's office. And him being the chief of him being the chief of police means he basically has control over the law. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her to change. At last, finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Star. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. Okay, Oh, you're back. You're still here. I gotta make 150 copies of these files. brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh, that DJ. I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer is still no. I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. It'd be my neck on the line. That office is the last crime scene of the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. There's gotta be something we can do to make Detective Jump change his mind. Sorry, this is gonna be a little bit manipulative, but hey, if you don't let us in, he's gonna resign. What's this? What's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way! Mr. Edwards can't be serious. Is he ever not serious? I can't believe it. They pushed him this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice too. But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him. Detective. That's it. I've made up my mind. But here, take my ID card. We can't do that. If someone found out, they wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me. There's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake. All right, detective. Thank you. The noble sacrifice. You ain't so bad, detective. You ain't so bad. He's like, well, I guess his reasoning's not wrong. Because it's like, oh, I'm probably gonna get fired anyway, so fuck it, who cares? Go out and put guns blazing. Here it goes, Mr. Wright. We're in. If anyone finds us now, Detective Gunshoe's goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Wait, what are you doing here? Eee! Yeah. Sorry. I thought you were a ghost. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah, Detective Gunshoe. What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried if something might go wrong. So I came too. If you're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? Hey, don't do that to my card. We crushed it up. I hardly ever get a chance to come in here, so I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. You really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if you're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out. I've got a bad feeling about this. Okay, well, first off, this is the real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons. Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations. First the pipe organ and now this armor. Do you know how many taxpayer dollars? Yeah, taxpayer dollar must have gotten into this room. What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent of my you don't have to. You don't have. You don't have any taxes to pay. Shh, be careful what you say. Who knows? The chief may be hiding in his armor as we speak. I don't think he'd fit in there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out. Cut it out, you guys. Don't you know how scary? Cut it out. You guys don't know how scary that guy can be. This is a safe, isn't it? Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so. It looks like the code needs to be entered in the panel to open it. I have a hunch. Oh, I know. You want to try my birthday? No. Let's see. Whoa! Yep. So that basic bingo. What number did you enter? The ID number. Whose birthday was it, pal? 77777. Lucky number 7. The final ID card on that record. What? What? The number on the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean 7777777? That ID number? I think you're 17 shy this time. That can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number. Say, anyone care to look inside? Is there any money in there? How much is it? How much does he have stashed away? Look, it's a shard from a broken cup. This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen it before? There's something else in here too. What's this? Looks like a piece of leather cloth. This is the handprint, isn't it? Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design? I don't think so. Oh, well, it was just a thought. Is that it? This is all that was in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now. A piece of cloth with a handprint on it and a broken shard from a cup. They look like pieces of evidence. Yeah, but unless you can prove they have something to do with the case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Great. Now I have to exclude the relevancy. How are these future items related to SL9? Come on, there got to be something you can show the detective. So, first thing we saw is looks like a part of the, where is it? This. There's a gun shoe. Could you take a look at this jar? I remember when the three of us put that back together. Ah, those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic. Wasn't this jar a piece of the evidence from that case? That's right. One of the jars has an SLI incident sticker on it. Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found? You mean this one? That was in the safe? Yes, that one. That was in the safe. Ah, now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this. Go ahead, pal. Show us what the rookie can do. Mr. Wright, here's some glue. If I can put this piece this together again, it'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. I don't get it. Wait, god damn it! I thought right click would rotate it, but it didn't. Okay. There, it fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly paid a piece of the jar in the safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. But, hey guys, get a load of this. What's it? This piece you just attached is different from the others. There's a reddish line on it. A reddish line? That's blood. I don't get it. Why would a Chief Gant hide this in his safe? Hey, look. Look here. It's hard to make out, but there's a dark red stain here. Looks like blood. This piece the Chief has is different, though. The blood signs are just... on other pieces are just spots. But this one's a line. That is odd. The prince. There's a gun shooter. I'd like to have a look at this. Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints? That's a great idea, detective. All right, go to town. Jeez. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? Go ahead, take my fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints we want to take. Huh? Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about the cloth we found in the safe. Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Right, jeez, where's your sense of humor? Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check the prints. Think of the power. Once they've been absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away. What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. All right, let's get this over with. So we're gonna get this one. And I know who it is, but you might be shocked to find out whose prints are on that glove if it's your first time seeing this game. The most unlikely of people, well, I guess not that unlikely. Not you, but I think it's you. Which you see, it is. Those are Emma's prints, but why? Huh? What the helly? No. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here? Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they? Huh? Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints. Hey, you, over here. Wait, what are the girl's prints doing? What's going on here? What are that kid's prints doing inside the chief's safe? I don't know. Don't ask me. It's me. I don't know. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now. Here, maybe you should hold on to this. Okay. Wow, look at this size of Chief Gant's desk. Speaking of that, when we were here earlier. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. I wonder what he was reading. This looks like a list of evidence. A list of evidence. In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this, though. Wait, look! At the case name. Huh? SL9 incident. I wonder what this is doing here. Hold on, detective. What did you just say? I said, I wonder what... No, about the evidence list. Normally they are twice as long? That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. A half-size list of evidence. This list of evidence seems too short. Yeah, he told us that most lists run twice as long. What would the other half of the list be doing here? I knew it. The chief must be hiding something about that case. It would appear so. Do we have the other thing in? We found this jar inside the drawer. A list of the evidence found from the SL9 incident. Mr. Redwood had the other half of the list. What would the list be doing here? Well, actually, let's examine it. Oh, huh? Hold on, what is this? I wonder what this is. It looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here. What is it? Did you find something? I can't make it out. I better keep it quiet about it for now. Huh? Oh, no, nothing. Why are your eyes moving about like that, Mr. Wright? I better not forget about the picture. Yeah, even though it'd be helpful if it updated, it said that there is something behind, that we have to remember there's something behind it. This was Lana's desk. It sure is tidy. Lana's always been a meticulous cleaner. There's not even any dust on it. It looks like someone's still keeping it clean. Does Lana ever come back here? No. Chief Gant must still keep it clean in memory of their partnership. They were the stuff legends are made of. Do they keep it in memory? Does he keep it in memory of her or in a memory of the crime? These cells are mostly empty. Lana must have cleaned them out when she transferred over to the prosecutor's office. Hey, this is when Lana and I went to that theme park. Take a picture. This was taken on that day 2 years ago. The day Joe Jark ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma. After receiving this award trophy, Mr. Marshall took the picture here, then went along with Chief Gant to question Dark. I bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later. Do you think? Look at the giant window. Makes you want to crash through and jump outside. This is the 15th floor. Yeah, unless you want to die, that is. I know, I was just saying. Saying what? Ever since making Detective, I've always dreamed about doing something like that. Note to self, Detective Gumshoe has a lot of dreams, so long as he doesn't crash through that window when he gets fired. Don't say that. The Chief's organ sure is a sight to behold. Occasionally, we hear him playing it from the Criminal Affairs Department. That's on the 2nd floor. This is the 15th floor, an entirely different building. When the detective screws up, the chief calls him to his office and makes them listen to the organs for hours. What's so bad about that? Music soothes the soul. After that, the detective can't hear anything for days except the ringing in their ears. So it's the instrument of punishment, literally. But aren't the chief's ears affected? He never listens to anyone anyways. That's besides the point. You can see pretty far from 15 stories up. At first, the chief wanted to use stained glass window for this window. Really? Why didn't he? They say he changed his mind because he wouldn't be able to see the view. Oh, stained glass or not, it's a huge window. Okay, so there must be something I have to talk to him about. That's what the chief was reading before, isn't it? You know, when we first came in here? Yeah, it looks like it's been right. Looks like the right side of it's been torn off. So Mr. Edwards' list really was only half of the whole list thing. Something else is bugging me more than that. Take a look at that back of the form pile. The back? Oh, we haven't talked to him. That desk on the other side of the room. Was that your sister's? Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana on that day 2 years ago. Is anyone using it now? No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. That's a strange reason to leave it here. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. I see. So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk. Not one. No one except Chief Gant and the cleaning lady who's in here each morning. Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Can I ask you something? Sure. You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think? Nah, you wouldn't be. No. Uh-oh, I think he's onto us. No, what do you mean? But you think we're gonna... You think we're gonna try and accuse the chief that he's the one that he may or may not have something to do with the SL9 incident? No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay, now then, let's take a look around a bit more. Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy. Huh? What is it? When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go at that. Sorry, this guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you? You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you? What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him? Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. Well, if you ask me, yeah. Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet. There you go, ignoring me again. Well, was I any help? Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. Now, that's not very... Oh, well, that's not very kind, is it? Uh-oh. In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right? You in the coat? Chief Gant! We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in science. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run into right into a pole. Just then, I thought of a certain detective. You mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you for you all to leave. Yes, sir. Sorry. Oh, you in the coat? Me, sir? Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir. Now, get out. Yes, sir. We'll be on our way too then. Wait, you, the one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir. I'd like a word with you. But, sir, I'm not a licensed science executive. You with the spiky hair? You're free to go. Mr. Wright? Look, pal, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this. I never would have said it. Now that I've seen the evidence, Chief Gant was hiding in his office. I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why has she kept really silent about it all this time? Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal. Yeah, well, there's one last person to talk to. Or maybe not. After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions. So she'll be busy for the rest of the day. One last person to talk to. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you told me is over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth. Once you've convinced yourself you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. Yeah, no, literally this whole time she hasn't been said one useful thing at all. Even though she is entirely aware of what's going on. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth, it's that you can't. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person? Nah. Protecting? Nah, I don't think so. I think afraid is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who, may I ask, is this person you're speaking of? The one I am supposedly frightened of. What is this person's name? Obviously, yeah, it's him. Well, Miss Sky? Can't say anything. Yeah, Mr. Wright. You are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I think if she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? Damon. We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Ezra will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. specifically hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Yeah, even though he was also a deputy thing at the time, it's not like she could have got the evidence without him knowing. Chief Gant. Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was me. Nope. I had access because I was second in command of the investigation. Yes, you, but also one other, namely Dan. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. Is it this? It's either one or two. I don't know which one it is. What proof they falsified? I just found this in a safe in the chief's office. This Sharpies and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? They are pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame from him? Why are you taking all the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate in the murder of Detective Goodman. Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. Well, no, I think this is confidential. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car, but trunk's lock was broken, and I discovered that the murder weapon, that murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this knife was stuck in it. The knife, Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand. Yes, it seems that I got blood on the victim's shoe as well. Then, she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Starr, huh? Why did you need to hide Drake's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close that dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So, you hid Dark's knife? The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence of the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporter would have a field day with it. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it in Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right. Then I called my sister. Tell her what had happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? Well, she was about to. I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma was so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling. The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator from the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least, I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seemed that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems like he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room? It's your fault! I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. Yeah, she's still not telling us something, but Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now, please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Sorry, I'm not gonna do that. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago? He's a villain, I say. Villain. Whee! Shit. Ashton Martin. Ooh, that took a while, but this is it. This is for all the marbles. Where we become the ace attorney. This is the defendant lobby. All right, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where is Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Edgeworth. Knowing you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 777 lucky number 7 ID card number is. That is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch, Mr. Gant. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach its verdict yesterday is because of this. There was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. But that number does belong to whom you suspect, and no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. In any event, he hasn't been charged yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right? And Chief Prosecutor Sky will be found guilty. But she didn't do it. I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth. Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. I'll see you in court, right? Nah, he's a truth cell. He loves the truth. This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. It's time to make the hot lady sing. You're gonna be singing like a canary when we're done with her. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Defense is ready, Your Honor. As is the prosecution. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth his opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Gant. Oh. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, RG, you been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if he could speak directly to the court. She wants to do... Yeah, she wants to say confess. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. What's this all about, defendant? I just have to make one simple request and I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana! You can't! Your Honor, the defense's claims did not change the defense's pleas. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But Lana, Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven in the case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. While the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation, the request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. True soul. No. Yeah. One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut? You may be the chief of police, but you ain't no chief, but you're just a dude in here. I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes? Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me that some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal, Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh? To whom? As a first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care. Yeah, tell her, bro. Yeah, I don't care. Like, I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. Like, yeah, I don't give a shit what you think, man. The exposure of the truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. That it's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy. You'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Skye. My occupation, I'm Lana's little sister and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying to my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, it most certainly is. Well, okay then. You sure gave in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. This is it. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. The battle begins. The last battle is bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. That man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. It's a good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with the Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You gotta admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Well, in a normal sense, we would have been kicked out the room since we're not really defending her anymore. We're not really defending what's her face. Hold on, I'm gonna. Years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. The marshal rescued me. That must have been a real shock. That must have been a real shock. Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly. Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage. When lightning struck, the lights went out. Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark, who was being thrown aside, and the other two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them. Emma doesn't have any reason to lie. Alana sure does. Okay, so basically we need to just press everything. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes, she was in second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police, Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever. Yes, I remember them. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Sky used to be quite the pair. I believe they share the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my race sister's desk and dreaming about playing on that organ. I wanted to play it that day too. The police department and the prosecutor's office had a ceremony that day. Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. A man came running in to be hostage. A man? Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer. Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky and Gant's office. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Neil Marshall rescued me. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were two people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant, and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about Gant. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assumed that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark. When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead. That's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. I don't clearly remember what happened then, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. Oh, wait. Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. Just then, the lights went out. Mr. Marshall went on Dark. But it was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out? Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right? Right. But just as lightning flashed again outside, that's the sudden flash left an unforgettable image in the scene of my mind. I see. I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of that case. Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. So you spoke to Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago? Yes. That's what's so scary about this trial. And you told the Detective Goodman about what you saw. Yes, but at the time the words wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. A picture? Yes, I think you mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, this picture the witness drew, I believe it has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence that I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we add this statement to your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. It seems to have been lost. No, it wasn't. I don't need to say it. I don't know why we didn't tell her we found it, but well. Mr. Edgeworth, this little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you would insist on denying its existence? Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as a prosecutor for the case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold, my true power, Optic Blast. I referenced like 2 different games. This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. Yeah, please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over. Oh, turn it. Oh, what's this? Yes, what is that? Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew. Indeed, 2 men appear to be wrestling here. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only prosecutors in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These 2 lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here from where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half the evidence in the case ever reached you. What? 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 Order. Order. But Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list? Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. If this was torn in half, that means, Your Honor, that means that means that means it's always been torn in half. Mr. Hay, are you all right, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Yes, that's quite conceivable. Mr. Edgeworth? Is it possible? Let's see. Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask? Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing. That's that thing. Blue Badger. That thing that was dancing in the evidence locker room. Clearly, this is an act of vandalism in the work. Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Very well, witness. Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago? Huh? Oh, yeah, yes, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at that picture. Well, this is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. To think a flash of lightning can burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows though dark about the murder prosecutor Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. This is a picture I drew 2 years ago. The flashlight was so bright all I could see were shadows. Let's see. After that, I must have fainted. The picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, this is the exact scene. It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives. Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. I better watch out or he might find some way to cut my salary. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me. Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture? Oh, well, that's strange. She claims it's exactly the scene that happened that was imprinted in her mind, and yet... Oh, wait. Yeah, where was... Is it this? No. Okay, let's maybe get some. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodwin was placed in charge under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Sky. 2 or 3 days later, the memory should have been fresh in her mind. Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black? This flash was light and was so bright all I could see were shadows. So at the time, you didn't even know who it was, Mr. Marshall, who had come to your rescue. No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor. You're knocked to the floor. Dark had a tight grip on me, and that's when Mr. Marshall jumped on him. I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed. Poor Emma, I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? After that, I must have fainted. You mean you didn't actually see the murder take place? No, I'm sorry. The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? Well, what? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. Anyway, this picture. Okay, so no. That's strange. Maybe it's the knife? Maybe it's the knife? Because, yeah, she didn't draw him holding a knife. This is the murder weapon, but that's not what she's holding. No. It shows exactly what I drive in the instant. Is it the thing? No. is it exact? Oh, yeah. Okay. There you go. I guess it's this. There we go. I didn't know we had that. Sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright, perhaps this would be faster if you just simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report? It's this. I guess this? The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see the tip is broken. Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See, the murder weapon is broken. Murder weapon. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too. But it broke after he was stabbed. If I recall, the tip of the knife was broken off of the victim's body. It was a conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer. Exactly. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. If it broke in his body, why did you draw it already broken? Wait. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not have yet been broken. Ah, what's the meaning of this? Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. No, remember, sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. That's right, but what does it mean? The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness' memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at that time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Ellsworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence? You're treading on thin ice, right? All I'm saying is that this broken tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. Ah! Order! Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me once again to go over the events that took place the day of the murder. Hold on, I need to take something. My bros. Okay. Wait, I don't think I can actually talk about that. Never mind. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. Oh, I'm reading that. I read it from the stream feedback or playback, not the not even OBS. Hold on, this is. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It's my belief that somewhere in the story there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been an actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of there being two broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Dark. Could there have been one? If the witness is adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright. In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume then that you have the information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Oh, we can't save. Uh-oh. I think it's in here. The answer lies in the past. 2 years ago, 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture. This is a picture of the award ceremony. Ah! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding. That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Uh-oh. That means order. Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. But when he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. But that can't be. Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean, yes, that means this would be the man raising the knife would have to have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh. But the prosecutor was the only one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here? It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. Wait, I remember now. I remember everything. Witness, Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please? His list. This one with that picture scribbled on the back? I knew it. This picture, I'm the one who drew it. What? You drew that? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me. Perhaps it would be best if we added the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you recall, Miss Skye? Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger? This should be interesting. So this next part is a real stumper if you weren't paying attention to what someone said about the blue badger when we first saw it. Sounded nice. I panicked and rushed towards the both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then, there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He was in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. This is certainly most unusual. Or try impossible. Oh, okay, never mind. He brings it up. Yeah, the chief had the detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. That's what would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. Yes, well, the defense may now begin. Stop! Please! Don't pursue this any further. Lana, what's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair. But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why could you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Skye? We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. It seems we finally getting to the core of the matter. Well, if... Well... Okay, hold on. So this one... Okay, not what are they? So this one... Yes, shadow. So the only thing is that if you look at this, check this out. So see if you do it like if you look at it like this, it kind of looks like the blue badger. If you see what I'm getting at. If you do it like this. So it's a jar. Let's see. Can we just do it like this? No, it's not. The mysterious blue badger was in fact this. But that's... Or what exactly is that? I believe it's some sort of jar. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger. Indeed, it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? I gotta show them the exact correct thing to look at this from. Yeah, like I just said. Okay, hold on. No! Shh! No. No! No, because Q is also present. Oh, QR? Oh, I know. Okay, my mistake. My mistake. I thought it was E. Wait. Wait, where's... I think it's like this. God! Okay. No, I pressed E again. Sorry. Is it like this? God. Okay, it's being picky about what you... I guess this is like... Okay, I'm about to... Dude, it's this. Okay, hold on, because it's gonna be annoying. Hold on, come on, tell me, because because it's being really picky. Okay. Yeah, it's just being very picky for no reason. Okay. No. Okay, no. Okay, so yeah, like this. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. Yeah, it's so yeah, it's odd. It's so oddly specific. Please, please, please. There you go. Holy. Come on, man. It wasn't that hard. Yeah. Well, is this a miracle or what? Jesus, man. Stop being so picky with the thing. No one could possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue badger. Did I not do that like 3 times? Holy. No, it can't be. If I was slightly off. Order. The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witnessed on that day of the crime was actually this. Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So the blue badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything. Indeed? Very well. Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know what the witnesses saw? The location. Allow me to make these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At the very specific angle, I might add. Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in the picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on the shelf in the office of Damon Gant. But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. Oh, I must have missed that. The witness testified so herself. Yes, and it's these 2 facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? Well, that would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. The man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on. What would he have hit? The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword. Yes. And since the man was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes, there is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility. Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with it. Mr. Wright, what's the matter? If events took place as the events theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. Yeah, in that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall. You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No! Emma! I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented. What? What are you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances, Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? I dare you try to pin the crime on her. Imagine that coming from you. Huh? If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging the evidence 2 years ago. The reason you removed Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't. Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. We certainly can't get the dead people to testify yet. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Well, we have Prince. Touche, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean, the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another. That's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? But I got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name, that there is evidence. This message from the dead, the deceased, is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister's murder? Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There's only one thing we seek. The truth! The truth. No matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright. Exactly. We gotta follow this road to the end. Please show us the pieces. Yeah, it's a jar. It's a jar. It looks like an M. This is the message left by the deceased. This is that Blue Badger from before. No. Oh, is he gonna just speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just the jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there is a line here, drawn in blood. So what you're saying is, in these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used a few precious moments left for him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away, but blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely. So all we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent. And no. Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us? Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. What? His murderer's name. Yeah. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. As after all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma, so this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Of all people. She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye. The silence is deafening. The courtroom is filled with a deafening silence. Seaworthy? Can't say I didn't warn you. Chief Gant, do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Ah, yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. So? I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know we aren't defenders of justice? What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. What's going on in the prosecutor's office? They might have said an innocent man to his death. How can you stand there and just say that? Order! The gallows pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where the trial is headed, no one knows. No, we're going to the end. Besides, even if we did stop now, it would be like, the next stream would be like 30 minutes long. It's okay. It's okay, I'll live. We have time to, it's fine. That doesn't matter. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got an auto alert, pal, making a detective run around while on duty. And to top it off, you called me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Again? I think Lana's happy you run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here. She asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law. Edgeworth was talking about it just the other day. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr.? Yeah. The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. Him. I guess I'll need to give this a thorough read. Securely slipped into the pocket. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Okay, so has to get it approved, and it has to be, relevant. What if it's not relevant? It has to be. If it's not registered, it has to be relevant. As of that now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? That's why all these allegations being thrown at me? Mr. Edgeworth. The real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility has been ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skye was found out she unwittingly caused a man's death. And now, you're telling me you want to do more? You gotta be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Maybe we could have went a little longer yesterday with the investigation. But we're now reconvened for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. The Inquiry Committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for your news, Your Honor. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness, but this isn't easy to say. You see, there's some concern that you, Mr. Richard, may have struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses. I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking, and very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution. That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. I would approve that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright. You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. Yeah, well, there's only one person we have to talk to. The defense calls the time's finally come to bring out the real murderer, and that would be him. No, it's obviously Mr. Gant. Mr. Gant. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything? As a defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. All right. Bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. What the hell? What the helly? What the hellion? What the heliante? What the Helly Berry? What the hell, LeBron James? What the Helly Burtons? What the Helly Cyrus? All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. What's up, MFer? Muffa? Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this? What is this? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy. Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. Okay, don't say I didn't warn you. So, you want to play hardball, eh? But please, Mr. Gant. Fine. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this S-Line incident. Oh, you mean that time Alana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh? Like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that the police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons. Sure. Take my testimony, for example. I'm not gonna do it. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with a certain risk. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Very well, the witness may begin his testimony. As I recall, Neil and I were... questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with this forgery. Is that when Dark was arrested? He was lying on the floor, unconscious. But that's something that doesn't add up. Why was he unconscious? Whenever I said Neophyla, it seems Dark bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I better hit him hard and fast. Yeah. How can you know that? Because of the victim's body, it had already been moved. So that means you found the body near Lana's desk? That's right. I think you said earlier it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor. Yes. Anyway. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office? That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt, but moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at him, you're better off staring at the court record. Worthy. Always the smooth talker. But what piece of evidence ties against the forgery? Well, it's a thing, but there's an issue with it. Yeah, it's this thing doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but there's a problem with this. If you really had nothing to do with the forgery, then how do you explain this? What is that? And what's that on it? A handprint? Chief Gant, your explanation, please. I don't know what that is. I don't know. You tell me, son. Huh? My dear Righto, don't you know the second rule of evidence law? Not this again. Evidence law. Rule 2, unregistered evidence must be presented to the relevant case. Must be relevant to the case on trial. Tell me, how is this rag relevant to this trial? It appears the defense was not prepared. I guess it's too early to use this piece of evidence. Please accept my profound apologies, Chief. Would you mind giving the defense another chance? Oh, okay, I'll do it just this once, but only because you asked, Dudgy. Thank you. I assure you the defense is terribly sorry. Yeah, sorry, I didn't nail. Okay, so yeah, so no, so that is right, but we can't use it. Did you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil, that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Dark was lying, collapsed on the floor. Yes, apparently hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms, looking back at it now. She must have already known what her sister had done. Apparently. So we gotta make him. As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. Probably with Too Dark. I made it run away like that. Was the defendant Lana's guy also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, he was not there when Dark ran for it. So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, the elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when the knife went into his heart, though. That's not funny, man. What the hell? When I went to my office, I found Lana there. So we have to. So we have to make it so relevant. Where's this? Was it this? Wait, was it this? Yeah, Marshall. Oh, well, this. Oh, okay, no, it's this, it's that. It's the thing we found in it. Is it this? Yeah, we found this in your desk. You claim you had nothing to do with a forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example. That list Emma Sky drew a picture on. This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar was sitting in your office. Was found inside your safe. Found where? You see, Chief Gan. These articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. I don't know if we, well, normally that would be inadmissible because he didn't get we kind of stole those. Yeah, but this is not real. But yeah, there's no discovery period, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Oh, here's a defense attorney who may even be rival worthy. So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery? Who, me? Or do you mean you? Me? What would I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who stuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know? Defense attorneys can do it too. Isn't that right, Righto? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. What? What? If Detective Gumshoe style dark any further, he end up having to pay to work. Yes, in the light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office and in relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My, kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. Well, the future is now, old man. Let's see, what is it now? A jar fragment and the list? For all you know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, they're worthless. Oh, that's not true. There's no real reason I participate in the forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? When you investigated the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh, indeed. I believe I will press charges so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief. Would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. All right, RG. In return, though, I know. That place, right? Huh? What are these guys? Telepathic? For all you know, I know you could have played. When those pieces. What do you mean by that? This is purely hypothetical, of course, but suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute a forgery. What do you mean? If concealing evidence found at a crime scene is a forgery. I'm not through speaking yet, Righto. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, they're worthless. There's no reason. Really, Chief Cat? At the very least, there's one very large benefit you reap from all this. Oh? I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would of course been the position you have, Chief of Police. Oh. The resolution for the S9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is a sufficient motive. Oh ho ho! Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution for SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Resworth? Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway. Gah! Be careful when pointing at that finger. You might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Nope. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There it is, out in the open now. Aji, would you mind if I change my testimony a little? By all means, please do. So this, if it was it wouldn't be in it if it wasn't anything else for me. Okay, let's press it. Nothing in it for you. Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, wasn't? If you think I felt sorry for her, you better think again. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Ho ho! Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. Could there have been something in it for him? True, you might not help out for anyone for their sake, but if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I mean. Very well then. Who is the person you can't forge evidence? Well, obviously it's her. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky, the defendant. I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed chief prosecutor of the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. But how would he profit from all of this? He wouldn't be able to use the chief prosecutor as a puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. You mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Oh, wait. You mean it must be puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Yeah. We need evidence. Let me ask you something. Where's your proof? What? Do you have any proof that I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying to that I've done such a thing? Lana. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than a mere conjecture. Unless that is also what happened in this incident. This incident, or which one would that be? Of course, I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial, almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? What? Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder. Impossible. He shook. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Ezra said in easier to understand language. No, Wrighto, it was you. No, it's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. It looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That Chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. All right, then. Let's see what Oh, hold on. I don't know what... Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us his evidence that Chief... Oh, well, it's the thing. It's this. I believe. This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows us who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID list that we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. Lucky number 7. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that that's my number. It's your number. It's your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. 7-digit code. A 7-digit code. 7 digits. You don't mean. I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 77. Yeah, the same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you had entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Uh-oh, he's sweating. Uh-oh. Ooh, the old man, you didn't think about that, did you? Maybe next time don't make your password something so obvious, stupid. Order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense search of my office was a violation of regulations, and I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Gant, so you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I did with the evidence. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. You hadn't seen... No! Oh! You hadn't seen him in days. Chief Gant, I'm afraid you just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with... Because thing, we have the, if you remember... Yeah, see this? The lost item had to be submitted to the chief of police. So he saw him. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt. No, it's not. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet. It's this. Yeah, like I said, it's this. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. In order to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filed a lost item report. We would have had to give that report to the chief of police. Yet you are in possession of that report, which means you can't be sure if he filed it. If he filed it, how do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to, yes, to transfer the evidence. Yeah, he had to go. Yeah, because it was due for transferal, so he had to go there that day. Oh, Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him. There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Murderer and Detective Goodman. Hold on, let me guess what you're gonna say next. I, the chief of the police, murdered poor Goodman. Exactly. But wait, the chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes, now that you mention it. Oh, sorry. Sorry, but that's not possible. According... Oh, that's right. Look. Yeah, that according to your record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. No. Ah! No! Chief Gant, you didn't. Uh-oh. Starting to sweat. Get the guillotine ready, folks. Get them pictures ready. We're having chief police for dinner. Sorry. The murderer was most likely a spur of the moment crime, for no one in the right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After that murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? It's supposed to Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it? Oh, we can answer that. Yeah, if you think about it, guys, the screwdriver. I was at the police department the entire day, you know, and everyone was aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered the officer to do it? Hey, you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time, I thought, yeah, seemingly useless. The Emma was right. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. To move the body, Chief Gant used this screwdriver. Remember, he asked them to get it and bring it to the prosecutor's office. This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. What's that? A screwdriver? But what does that have to do with this case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here? It's here because... Duh! Ah! I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. You mean, after the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office, but you did, because Chief Gant asked you to. You mean the body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car? Yes, unless of course you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transfer evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation: to transfer the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Skye. Order. What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Mr. Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It was a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gant, please say something. I believe your time's up. My time's up. Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. The AG. We have to get going to make it in time for the early bird special. No. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier. A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons, like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed the good old Goodman, that's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, you think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, let's show your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damien Gadd is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusation against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright, Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gadd murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Sky dispose of his body. I think the thing is we actually don't have any yet. I don't think we have any. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. I have no conclusive evidence. CRG? In that case, this court has forced to penalize you for your allegations. What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Righto. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again. Okay, RG, I'll leave the rest to you. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is it. Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. Who knows the real truth behind this trial? We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth, another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. Yeah, so no, saying no, we don't know was right. But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else, one more witness who can answer all the questions raised in the trial, someone right in this very room. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling the witnesses today. Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. Yeah, well, the only person who hasn't said anything yet is her, Lana. The defendant, Miss Lana Sky. She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 on February 21st. Her task to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with someone's order. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now... Hold on. Huh? Chief Gant? Yeah, why did you come back? I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. Huh? That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. This isn't good. Of course, you never support such outrageous claims anyway. Right. Just something to think about. Alright then. I've got a lunch date to meet. He, just openly blackmailed a witness. Okay, if there aren't any further objections, This court is now in recess. Yeah, openly just witness tampering. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth. That chief, he's something else, eh, pals? Detective Gumshoe. I'm not a detective anymore. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Don't worry, I've already decided where to work. Now, at your office. My office? Sure, I think a place of that top-notch girl you used to work with. Could he mean Maya? Still, look like we're out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again. How is he always gets the upper hand? It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify. Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said? But Chief, that is not... Oh, that right cannot... So basically... Oh, yeah. I know what he's talking about. That's not a right to be casually invoked. So basically, we can't ask him any more questions, but on the flip side, there are certain risks to be considered. On the flip side, if he invokes that right, I believe he cannot say anything. He also can't say anything about the anymore, so he can't speak. He can't make any testimonies anymore. Risk. What do you mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. Yeah, like I just said. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Who's that? Emma? Oh, are you okay? Emma, are you okay? Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the crowd from the gallery, so she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. Yeah, now I finally know what really happened. To think all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man, and she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside and forced herself to do anything and everything that the chief told her to do. That must be why she became so cold. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal. Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. I see. Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act. Emma, why didn't you wait? No, I'm going with you. I want to be there when Lana tells the truth. Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. But hold on, before we continue. Okay, but before we go, I'm gonna get a drink and use the washroom. Ladder 2. Okay, hold on 1 sec. Let me. BRB. I'm back. Holy, it's like a furnace in my room. I grabbed the Dr. Pepper. How do you feel? How do you guys feel about Dr. Pepper? It's pretty good. I like it. Now then, the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, please take the stand. Miss Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. I'm sure you're aware of what's required. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Oh, of course, the truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Everything hinges on your own testimony. You're only your only chance we got to get Gant. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. Alana, if this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. But good thing she's a bad liar. Please, Mr. Wright, you gotta help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. But what if she's telling the truth? She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. Defense may now begin its cross-examination. How? You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the person to discover the scene. When the broken prosecutor ward knife was stuck in the victim's body. Wait a minute. What? That's not what happened, but Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change the statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. If that is what happened to the other murder weapon. Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. All just to protect me. So when you found a scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the victim's wound? And you moved the body? But why? Why would you do that? You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. Why did you move the body? When you showed up at the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was by the Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason why Miss Sky moved the body. Oh, well, we know the thing says Emma on it, so that's why. So she says it didn't. Yeah, he didn't move it for Emma. Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that's true, if that truth will be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. Contradiction in my testimony. You testified, and I quote, the pieces of the jar that shattered during the defense threatened. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, that's right. No, pieces of the jar, but no, it should have been still whole. That's right. You have a problem with that. It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments, but he wrote it exactly so, and this is where the contradiction lies. This is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it had to have been whole. It must have not have been broken before he died. Ah. But he couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar, so what happened? Yeah, what happened? Order. It was right, but I was right for the wrong reason. Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you are as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. You mean you were the one who wiped away the messes in blood? I wasn't the chief prosecutor at the time. Didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well. The jar and messes in blood. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry an emergency luminol wherever I go. Never miss anything. I got every last piece. That's not true. Okay, so no, that's not true. That's not true. There's the thing again. We got everyone. Is that in the thing that a piece was missing? Yeah, no, you didn't. Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals the truth even you were unaware of. What? What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the Chief's safe? But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. So yeah, so that means, so basically that's what that tells us is if she claims that she got every piece, that means that piece was gone. That piece was already missing. Which means that it was someone got there before she did. I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it, but the witnesses testified exactly that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you. Yeah, that's exactly what that says. He got there first. But couldn't the defendant have simply... Whoa, what the hell? My phone vibrated in my pocket. I got scared. I got scared. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? Nope, she just certified that she got everything. I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. And may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dent. Okay, well, don't need to hear that. Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that. There was no way a name should have been written on a shattered jar. Another person described, yeah, that's the bigger issue. The scene was already, this jar was broken already. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness because he wrote the full message on the complete jar, and when she came there, the jar was broken. So someone must have broke the jar. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. No? The question is, if he didn't arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? No! Wait. But the Honor's not the one on thing, so... Wait. I'm not the one on trial here. Damon Gann arrived at this crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar. Yeah, take the piece. Jar and purposely hid one of the broken pieces, thus proving that he took it. Question. What is this action called? Tampering. Fabrication of evidence. But why would Chief Gant do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lana Sky believes her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. So basically, she got played. Lending her aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Guy became the Chief's puppet. Oh, ouch! Careful! You drew blood. No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the Chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. I wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorney makes the most foul lies to defend their clients. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client. Dude, she hates you. I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. What? Wait a minute. Twist the truth? What if? Oh my God! Phoenix has realized that we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap. We're assuming that she is the one who rearranged the scene, but what if it's not? Not if he didn't? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana may be right after all. What do you mean, right? So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright? Miss Sky, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Miss Sky, if you will. I can't. Then there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, if there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify of what I really saw. All right, the witness may testify once more for the final time. Uh-oh, is this it? When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on the Natsudo armor's sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had the Chief Gang help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the sword's armor? You were the only person who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. Huh? I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. Huh? She did? Oh, yeah, we can't check it like that. Okay, we can't check it like that. What? To me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed, but I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you. Very well, Mr. Wright, please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any pictures of Lana. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? You seem to remember getting something from her then. Let's check out. Yeah, yeah, now I can check it like this before we can. Oh, what's this? Oh! Hey, there's a picture here. Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective solved the crime scene like this, because I contacted criminal affairs only after I had rearranged everything. Wait, but you see, something is odd about that. Mr. Wright, that piece of cut from his vest, could that be the cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe? What's this? But there's something I already noticing something very odd about it. Oh, well, I'll wait until we get to it. There's something odd about this piece of cloth. That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Whoever's fingerprint those are must be the real murderer. What? But those fingerprints, they're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. I found Mr. Oh, huh? Whoa. Oh, hello. Come now, Udgy. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant. What now? What? Now you want to make me out as a bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. No. You invoked your right. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You invoked your right to remain silent, so you can't speak. You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make a statement of any sort. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. No. You already said you weren't gonna. You refused. You invoked your right to stay silent, so stay silent, bro. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. Yeah, get on, bro. So what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I do need to make my statement. But I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. But someone does. Someone. So, what's your excuse, righto? Huh? Why haven't you? Oh, hold on, wait. He's talking about the cloth, but we can't use it. You have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death? Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as a murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you'll be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that actually shows... Nope, you can't show it. No, we can't show it because... No, so that you should... I'm gonna pick you can't show it because we don't know. We still don't know the relevancy. Or no, it hasn't been made apparent the relevancy to the case. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie. Chief Gant, you opened my safe. I know what you took and you took what was inside. The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. Because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about? Chief Kent? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Wrighto. Well, I can't let you pin me up as a murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit to it? I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were manipulating her. I knew Lana, if I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid two pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence. You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance. I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to prepare for the worst. To be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? What do you take me for? A fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the messages on this jar too? Oh ho ho! Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Mr. Wright. Chop it up already. I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Kent, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe? Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do with that being chief and all, but it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you can present. No. Hold on there, Judge. Foolish move, Wrighto. You should have shown it then before it was too late. It's been a long battle, but the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess it up here, Ziggy. I think I have to show evidence law. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. All right then, let's see this conclusive evidence. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest? Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. At last, he finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that to be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This is the handprint on the letter. It must have been so strong. It must have been so strong for the impact to be been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. Sorry, hold. You mean it could not have been forged? It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Oh ho ho! You're as slow as ever on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Wrighto had all this evidence to present this time to present this evidence. Yeah, he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on those? Mr. Wright, do you really know? Whoever fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well, I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. Person on the ground to is, you can say this. Emma Sky. They're mine. I'm sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me? Oh ho ho ho! You're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death. Oh no no! How could you? You monster! Miss Sky, you knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Hold on, don't, Miss Sky, it's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. Ha! But I'm afraid it's over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You perversely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat out your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? I did know nothing of the sort. Before I do that, there's just one little thing I had to clear up. Oh? And what's that? You ever heard of a little thing called evidence law? Who really killed prosecutor? Oh, never mind. Or who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? No. I'm afraid that's not possible, because there's something very odd about that piece of cloth, like I said before. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about about contradiction, one that proves who the real killer is. Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth, what could it possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Trying to put the final nail in the coffin. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. It's the picture. The picture we just got from Thing. And what exactly is this? This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. You see where the piece of his vest was cut out? You see there's blood all over the top on the vest and on the shirt below it, underneath the vest. But if you take a look at the piece of cloth we have where it was cut, there's not a single drop of blood on it. Well, we'll let Phoenix explain. So we'll see where the piece of his cloth vest was cut? Yes? His shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. Yes. His lungs no doubt were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth, exactly, is completely dry. Wait. There's no blood on it. There's no blood on it. Okay, whatever. Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt about it. No doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. But, however, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground when he was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? And because remember what Lana said, he was on the spear when she got there. But who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Sky? Picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armored sword. Then to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue and make Lana believe her sister did it. Get on. Remember what you admitted only moments ago, that you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Though the very act of curating insurance. You proved that you were the actual murderer. Mm-hmm. Ah! It's finally all over. He's not done yet. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was close, Wright. You almost had me. So sorry, but you have to do better than that. I refute all your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. No. Now we get to show you evidence law. Order. What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict the suspect. Remember, Udgy? Earlier, old Wright here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Wright? You don't have some conclusive evidence, don't you? Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this time. Check our words. We didn't say there wasn't any evidence. We said we didn't have evidence that we could present. Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, the piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair. Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son. I'm afraid Mr. Grant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, true, illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright? It seems at last. The time to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, do you admit it? That you purposely... Nope, I did not. I did not. I admit it. I refuted his views to present it at one point. Aha. So the evidence is illegal. No. No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean, you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. No, Udgy, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't really believe. There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, do so. Well, is this? The book. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What? What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Yeah, we didn't have any we didn't have the relevancy for this piece of cloth until he explained what it was. Huh? Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself inside your safe. It goes without saying I did not have the approval from the police department. Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and this SL9 incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy, and just take one picture and take one look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented? After that was shown only a few moments ago. No, he's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it the value as evidence was you. Damon Gant? It was you. You yourself confessed to it a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh yes. You idiot, you confessed to doing it yourself. You created the relevancy. No! It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before the prosecutor marshal in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer, and there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gant. The killer was you. No. No. Uh-oh. Crash out? I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years, he's been snooping around the department, trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Star, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you gotta help me. The only Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden, he decided to speak out. Chief, what are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. So that was his punishment. He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall." Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing it would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as the crime computer, but everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. And you put the body in my car. I'm sorry. Couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. Leaving the prosecution's car aside. How did you get Miss Sky involved in all of this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker. I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jar. You left the jar fragments in the glove. Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. So it all comes to light. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon a close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Aji? What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, Damon Dent. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator, an example to others of the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Aji. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Wright here and Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. Sorry. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new beginning. There are two things I want you to understand. Yes, first, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Gaming Gap betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. That's all that I've done these past 2 years. The time I had Gant help me forge evidence up until today. So, it seems all the questions are raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My, what high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows, a few years from now, you just might make it to the top. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Ooh, honestly, that kind of gave me goosebumps. Seeing your smile for the first time. Oh, the sky. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Liar. I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it! Stop it! I only did my job. Ooh, look at this little Cinderay. Stop it! I only did my job. In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Sky. Yes, Your Honor. You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand, Your Honor. Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. It's a long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. Same for the stream. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds defendant Miss Lana Sky not guilty. Hold on, I need to see something. How old is she? 29, okay. And thing, yeah, where's the point? So 11, yeah, so. Oh, yo, my gosh. That is all. This court is adjourned. At long last, it's finally over. Oh, that's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, well, this is not so happy-go-lucky. She's getting locked up, bro, for a long time. She's not a murderer, but she's going away. Emma? Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended, I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. I saw her. You know, I did my best too. but Lana didn't say a single word to me. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, I guess I am. Oh, guess I am. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. That's 3 for 3 and at poor timing. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making Detective run around while on duty. And to top it off, you called me. You often called me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. You said like, hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding. Oh, are you here because of my sister again? Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal. Me. That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Oh, well, Alana, should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't. Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day 2 years ago was the first time in my life I've ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Sis, I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, but now I realized I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you would look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. And sis, you're only doing it for me. No. I turned my back on you that day, and hiding what I believed to be the truth. I was deceiving you. Sis, I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy. Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, Emma. Hold on. Wait. Gotta get this for the... No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is try to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. At least that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe. Me? Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right? Edgeworth? Stop hiding and come over here. Where was he hiding? I just came to say congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right. Well, I'll be going now. Get me out of here. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth, not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. I'm you. You are me. One day you understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. trying to get all of them as a fool's errand. You should just try to get as much as you can. Just try to do what you can. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma. Huh? We're both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. Yeah. You may ask, why am I saving here? It's the end. But they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to the day's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright, and because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, we do have something. Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about. Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find out on our own. It's easy. It's the evidence list. Half of it was... That's the picture I drew. Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. Apart from we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by a chance, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time for me to go. It looks like he doesn't agree. Mr. Edgeworth, if you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that I need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember, you can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. We'll have to see where his journey leads, where his path leads him. I better be going too. I'm getting arraigned, of course, after all. Okay, I'll be by the visit soon. I see we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific investigation. It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis. I will. What a beautiful smile. So another case came to a close. And as for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Uh oh, he's about to go backpacking in Europe. Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. But I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Huh? Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side. Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here is the one who will be footing the bill. Huh? Huh? What, you think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal. Huh? Wait, whoa, what? Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best. Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream our catchphrase? Hey, I got an idea. Why don't you all go pay it off together? Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys, let's go. Okay, and now this is the real end. Okay, and that was Ace Attorney for game number 1. I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. I hope she'll be pleased to send it under a top coroner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I managed to find ways back to the field. I managed to find my way back to the field somehow. Then I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. I hope we eventually get to see that too. But yeah, no, this game is good. If you haven't played it, I would play the series. I recommend playing it. They overlook my unauthorized. If we penalize you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show. You can't shake me off that easily. Okay, yay! He has a job still. Thank God. We don't have to pay him. It's like Emma's going to Europe, it seems. No Emma, no Maya, no Mia, no nothing, no life. My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Billy? Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. You got demoted. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them though. Someday I'm gonna make detective. Yes, sir. That I can be just like that Dick Gumshoe. I think you already got the goofy part down pat. You know what's funny? This is not related to the game. I was planning to go somewhere after I finished streaming, but let's just say that's not happening. That ain't happening. Oh, it's yeah. Mr. Sharp managed to sneak this into me. Well, cowboy, it looks like you did it. You even gained Bambina back her smile. Did you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? Oh, Billy is the cactus. Okay. Hello, Kafka Queen. Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while, or like more like ever. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu, the Wright Way lunch. Top layer tastes bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer is as sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig a turnabout. Yes, dude, a turnabout theme. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. Huh? The recipe for turnabout, you could say. I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after that trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing or something or other for how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I better be... Oh no, sorry, I forgot my grab. I gotta go. We've never seen that chair empty, by the way. Up that close. Also, I always imagine that this is like our news reporter conducting an interview, a post-trial interview of all the relevant parties. Oh, hello. Nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Oh, never mind, it's Phoenix. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium. Mystic Maya. Oh, afternoon train is about to begin. Coming. Oh, well, see you around, Nick. I guess we called her, or That's crazy because we won't see that background until the second game. So they had it ready to go from now. Soundtrack is good. I'm trying to think of what we're going to talk about while we wait for the game to finish. Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth. I brought you your key. What's going on? Mr. Edgeworth is nowhere to be found. I'm a little sad, but I'll be all right. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. I think she may have done the same trick twice. Yeah. Aww. Aw. I didn't see what that achievement was. And yeah, that was Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. So, with that being said, I guess our journey is over. So that will be it all from me for today. But before we go, as always, if you like what you saw, please consider leaving a like. Follow me on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, X, Blue Sky for bad updates, for bad tweets, stream updates, and everything in between. Hopefully I'll see you in the next adventure. Bye bye. See ya. Peace.